سلام، مهدی نوری هستم و توی این ویدیو با هم میخوایم بریم سراغ قسمت دوم از درس هفتم کتاب American Headway سطح دوم. انتهای ویدیو قبل بهتون گفتیم که میخوایم این ویدیو رو با صحبت کردن درباره archeology شروع کنیم، یعنی باستان شناسی. An archeologist، یک باستان شناس. Look at the pictures of Frida Hoffman and read the introduction. Then answer these questions. What's her nationality? Which countries has she been to? And what are her passions? Passion is something that you really like. For example, my passion is cooking. It means I really like cooking. What's her nationality?
She is German.
Which countries has she been to?
She has been to South Africa, China, Algeria, Egypt, and Kenya.
What are her passions?
Her passions are history and ancient civilizations.
Ancient means very, very, very old, really old, as we say باستانی. Civilization, تمدن. Now read the interview with Frida and write the questions below on the correct line in the interview. Pause the video, do it yourself, then we will check our answers.
Frida, you have traveled a lot in your lifetime. Which countries have you been to?
Well, I've been to a lot of countries in Africa and Asia, but I've never been to South America.
When did you first go abroad?
When I was 6, my family moved to England.
Why did you move there?
Because my father got a job as a professor of history at Cambridge University.
Have you always been interested in archaeology?
Yes, I have. When I was 10, there was an exhibition in London of Tutankhamun, the Egyptian king. My father took me to see it and I was fascinated. After that, I knew that I wanted to go to Egypt and be an archaeologist.
How many times have you been to Egypt?
At least 20 times. I go as often as I can.
Have you ever discovered anything?
Yes, I've made some very important discoveries. I was the leader of a team that discovered some ancient tombs near Cairo.
You've written books about Egypt, haven't you? How many books have you written?
I've written 3 about the pharaohs, and I've written a book about a journey I made from Cairo to Cape Town.
How did you travel? By train? By car?
In a Land Rover, of course.
In all of your travels, have you ever been in danger?
Oh my gosh, yes, many times. But in situations like that, you learn so much about yourself. چند تا لغت مهم. Exhibition به معنی نمایشگاه. I was fascinated یعنی شگفت زده شده بودم. Archaeology رو یاد گرفتیم به عنوان باستان شناسی. Archeologist باستان شناس. Discover کشف کردن. Discovery اکتشاف. Tomb که بیش هم خونده نمیشه به معنی مقبره هستش. کایرو قاهره. Now try to ask these questions and answer them about Frida. Look at the example. Which countries has she been to?
She's been to Egypt, Algeria, Kenya, South Africa, China, and...
Has she ever been to South America?
No, she hasn't.
When did she move to England?
When she was 6.
Where did her father get a job?
Her father got a job at Cambridge University.
When did she see the Tutankhamun exhibition?
When she was 10.
How many times has she been to Egypt?
She has been there at least 20 times.
How many books has she written?
She has written 4 books.
As you can see, for the things which happened in the past, we use did to make the question and we use verb to. برای کارهایی که تو گذشته اتفاق افتادن تموم شدن سوالیاش داریم از did استفاده میکنیم. خود فعل هم که شکل دوم فعل رو استفاده میکنیم. And we use present perfect when we are talking about something that started in the past and continues to the present or our experiences. وقتی هم داریم درباره تجربیاتمون یا کارهایی که از گذشته تا به امروز ادامه پیدا میکنن صحبت میکنیم we use present perfect. Have or has plus verb 3. Grammar time. Let's compare these sentences. I lived in Paris for 2 years from 2007 to 2009. This action is finished. من بین سالهای 2007 تا 2009 پاریس زندگی کردم. I've lived in London since 2009. I still do. This action is not finished. من از سال 2009 که دارم لندن زندگی میکنم و این کار من هنوز تموم نشده. I've been to South Korea. This is an experience in my life. من کره جنوبی بودم و این یک تجربه توی زندگی منه. I went with my husband 2 years ago. 2 سال پیش با همسرم رفتم اونجا. This is a definite past time. Have you ever flown in a helicopter? آیا تا حالا با هلیکوپتر پرواز کردی? Yes, I have. Where did you fly? کجا رفتی؟ I flew over New York. بالای نیویورک رو پرواز کردم. These are the common time expressions we use for simple past and present perfect. For simple past we say last week, yesterday, the day before yesterday, یعنی پریروز. The day before yesterday. In 1999, on July 21st, 3 months ago, for 2 weeks, but now ended. For present perfect we use since Monday, ever, never, already, yet, for 2 weeks and continues. Present perfect or past simple. Listen to Frida having the rest of the interview and complete these lines.
Track 35. Present perfect or simple past. 1.
You moved to England when you were 6. Do you go back to Germany much?
No, I don't. I've been back a few times, but I've never lived there again. I feel more English than German.
2.
What did you study in college?
I studied ancient history at Cambridge.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. The classes were amazing, and Cambridge was a great place to live.
3.
Have you ever had an ordinary job?
Of course I have. I've done all kinds of things. After college, I didn't have any money.
So what did you do?
I worked in a restaurant. I hated it.
Why didn't you like it?
Because the hours were so long, and the people I was working with were horrible.
4.
You said you've often been in danger. What's the most dangerous situation you've been in?
Well, I had a very bad car accident in Cairo. I was seriously injured and broke several bones. I spent 3 months in the hospital. I was very lucky. I nearly died.
Do you go back to Germany much?
No, I don't. I've been back a few times, but I've never lived there again.
2. What did you study in college?
I studied ancient history at Cambridge.
Have you had an ordinary job?
Ordinary job is like a normal job, something that is not very unusual. یه شغل معمولی. Of course I have. I've done all kinds of things. After college, I didn't have any money.
So what did you do?
I worked in a restaurant. I hated it.
What's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in?
Well, I had a very bad car accident in Cairo. I was seriously injured and broke several bones. Ask and answer these questions about Frida. Look at the example. You have to say like, has she ever done something? Then yes or no, and then ask one simple past question.
Has she ever crossed the Sahara Desert?
Yes, she has.
When did she do that?
She did it in her early 30s.
Has she ever walked the Great Wall of China?
Yes, she has.
When did she do that?
She did it in 1995.
Has she ever traveled up the Nile?
Yes, of course.
When did she do that?
She did it when she was a student.
And has she ever worked in a restaurant?
Yes, she has.
When did she do that?
She did it after she graduated from college. سوالی که با زرد نوشته شدن دارن یه اکسپریانس و تجربه کلی رو میپرسن. آیا تا حالا این کارو کرده؟ سوالی که با آبی نوشته شدن دارن یه مورد خاصش رو توی گذشته میپرسن. What about you? Try to ask these questions and answer them. For example, have you ever been to Africa?
No, I haven't. What about you? Have you?
No, I've never been to Africa, but I've been to Russia, Dubai, and Turkey.
Have you ever done anything dangerous?
Yes, I have.
What did you do?
I did bungee jumping.
Wow. When did you do that?
I did it 3 years ago
And where did you do that?
in one of the cities of Turkey. Now vocabulary time. Word endings and word stress. بریم راجع به حروفی که ما آخر کلمات استفاده میکنیم و استرس کلمات یکم با هم صحبت کنیم. What are the endings of the nouns in italics? این کلمه‌هایی که مورب نوشته شدن، اینایی که آخرشون نوشته شده چیان؟ John Steinbeck, writer and novelist, worked with movie directors. Writer, novelist, directors. When we use ER, IST or OR, we make jobs. ما با اضافه کردن این حروف به کلمات ازشون شغل میسازیم. Now use these endings to make jobs from words in the box. For example, for photograph, we say photographer. Listen and repeat the words.
Track 36. Word endings and word stress.
Photographer. Politician. Interpreter. Receptionist. Musician. Librarian. Scientist. Accountant. Electrician. Farmer. Decorator. Lawyer. Artist. Actor.
کلمه هایی که ممکنه براتون جدید باشه یکیش interpret to change from one language to another language. کسی که کار ترجمه انجام میده اونم ترجمه همزمان و گفتاری. Library کتابخونه، librarian کسی که توی کتابخونه کار میکنه. Electrician برقکار. Lawyer وکیل. بقیه‌اش هم مطمئنم که بلدید. Suffixes show the part of a speech. Suffix is something that you add after a word. Suffix اون چیزی هستش که ما بعد از یک کلمه ای اضافه میکنیم و این میاد part of a speech یعنی نقش کلمه رو تغییر میده. یعنی اگر یک کلمه فعل هستش مثلا compete به معنی رقابت کردن noun و اسمش میشه competition. یعنی شما با اضافه کردن tion به انتهای یک کلمه اونو تبدیل به یک اسم میکنید. حالا اینجا 2 تا گروه داریم noun and verb اسم و فعل noun and adjective اسم و صفت. یه سری suffix ها داریم برای اسم ساختن مثل tion, sion, meant, ness و یه سری ها هم برای adjectives یعنی صفت ساختن مثل y, ly, ous, full. ویدیو رو متوقف کنین سعی کنین خودتون اینا رو کامل کنین بیاین با من چک کنین. explain توضیح دادن explanation توضیح. behavior رفتار behave رفتار کردن. invite دعوت کردن invitation دعوت. conclusion نتیجه گیری conclude نتیجه گیری کردن. student دانش آموز دانشجو study مطالعه کردن. decide تصمیم گرفتن decision تصمیم. discussion بحث discuss بحث کردن. employ استخدام کردن employment استخدام. inherit به ارث بردن inheritance چیزی که شما به ارث میبرین. collection کلکسیون، collect جمع کردن. Now let's talk about nouns and adjectives. Fame شهرت، famous مشهور. Different متفاوت، difference تفاوت. Critic منتقد، critical انتقادی. Ambitious بلند پرواز، ambition بلند پروازی. Success موفقیت، successful موفق. Help کمک، helpful کسی که کمک میکنه. Kind مهربون، kindness مهربونی. Friend دوست، friendly دوستانه. Danger خطر، dangerous خطرناک. Health سلامتی، healthy سلامت. Responsible کسی که مسئولیت شناسه، responsibility مسئولیت. خیلی مهم هستش که شما توی جملات از part of speech درست استفاده کنید، یعنی فعل و جای فعل استفاده کنید، اسم و جای اسم و صفت و قید و از این دست. Now, listen and repeat these words. Pay attention to the stress. گوش بدین و این کلمه ها رو تکرار کنید و به استرس کلمات هم توجه کنید.
Track 37. Word stress, two-syllabled noun and adjectives. Nouns.
Danger.
kindness,
Critic.
artist,
Difference.
Adjectives.
dangerous,
Healthy.
friendly,
Famous.
different,
Two-syllabled verbs.
Invite.
explain,
Discuss.
employ,
Decide.
compete,
Nouns ending in tion, sion.
Invitation.
explanation,
Competition.
ambition,
Decision.
خب رسیدیم به پایان بخش دوم از درس هفتم. توی بخش بعدی با همدیگه میخوایم بریم سراغ ریدینگ و راجع به این خونه رویایی با همدیگه صحبت کنیم. پس بریم سراغ ویدیوی بعد.